Where is the last lost city of the Gospels? Could it be here?
This morning, at least 3 Roman nails, which is
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
Today?
Yes, just this morning.
Wow.
I mean, I look out at the same hills Jesus looked at every day. Like that is incredible.
So we didn't find the bathhouse so far, but this brick is from the double floor of a bathhouse.
I mean, it's really cool and you would understand a lot more, but just to be a part of it, I mean, we volunteer, we all show you what to do.
Just off the northern shore of the Sea of Galilee, we are here at a site called El Araj. And right now, in the middle of this season of a dig, archaeologists believed they are uncovering the most significant biblical discovery of this generation: the lost city of Bethsaida. For centuries, no one knew where Bethsaida actually was. The name disappears from historical record in the 3rd century. The village apparently swallowed by rising waters from the Sea of Galilee. And it stays lost for well over 1,000 years.
Every year we find more and more evidence that confirms that this is in fact the site of Bethsaida. We refer to it sometimes as Bethsaida Julius because that's the name of the city. They renamed the city.
Okay.
Bethsaida becomes Julius in the Roman literature, oftentimes in Josephus as well. Everything we find here confirms that. So we have both things here. Every time we excavate, every square we excavate, we find
Roman.
Jewish and Roman period remains.
Amazing.
Evidence of both times, the development of this site. So it's powerfully attested.
3 cities that had the most miracles and teachings of Jesus were Capernaum, Bethsaida, and Chorazin. And so we're in one of the most witnessed places of Jesus' miracles and signs. And we do have another miracle, a very interesting one in the Gospel of Mark, where a blind man meets Jesus, and instead of healing him instantly, he heals him in stages until he takes him outside of the city and he says, "Can you see people?" And he says, "I can see people like walking around like trees." And so this is one of those kind of unique details, but it happened here at Bethsaida. So it's a very humbling and cool opportunity to be able to excavate.
I cannot imagine that we discovered what we discovered. This is not a big group of excavators. We didn't dig a lot, but we solved a very important historical, even you can say religious issue, is where is Bethsaida of the Gospels? Peter, Andrew, and Philip came from Bethsaida. This is New Testament. And now we know where is the real place.
Now, crews have been pulling back out of the ground layer by layer. Right beneath us sits a 1st century Jewish fishing village. Lead net weights, coins, pottery, even an inkwell, which was already reshaping what scholars assumed about how literate the fishermen actually were.
This is unique in this sense because this is a stone vessel. And stone vessels are used specifically by Jews in the 1st century because they were obsessed about purity. And stone vessels in the Jewish law cannot be unpurified. So they made specifically stone vessels, and this is one of them. It's a leg of a big bowl with, let's say, a basin that they used, manufactured usually in Jerusalem. And so this really tells us that we've got 1st century Jewish presence here.
Above that, a massive Byzantine church, its gold gilded mosaics only recently uncovered after 1,300 years underground. A complete mosaic inscription, a plea to the chief and commander of the heavenly apostles. In the Byzantine world, that title belonged exactly to one man, Simon Peter.
So we've stepped into what was a church that was built in the 5th, 6th century. The tradition in the Byzantine era is that it was built over the house of St. Peter.
Okay.
What I can tell you, in this church, we know for sure that they built over 1st century Bethsaida because every time we go under the floor, we find 1st century homes.
Wow.
There are 2 things that I think for Christians should be of great interest here. The first one was discovered in 2022. The families were here digging, and they came to a point where they began to say, we see mosaics. And there were mosaics of a round mosaic. It was about 5 feet across, about 4 feet across, and it had inscriptions in it. Not a single tessera was missing, and in it, what it was a dedication to the person the benefactor who paid for the repaving of this part of the church. It says to him, dedicated to him, that all the work was accomplished through his efforts. His name was Constantine, not the emperor, but a local figure. But what really was important and got us all excited is that in the middle of the inscription, it speaks to the chief of the apostles and the keeper of the keys of heaven.
Which is?
Peter. So, and the only reason you would have it here is from John 1:44, where it speaks of Bethsaida, the home of Peter, Andrew, and Philip.
Wow. And to be a part of history being uncovered, not just biblically, but as a believer.
That's right.
To be a part of confirming and affirming Scripture.
That's right. And affirming that where the Gospels say Bethsaida was situated is here.
Here.
And so that has been really one of the powerful parts of the church that speaks to the Christian witness here, the presence of the gospel in the land. The other thing happened a year later, during the tragic events of 2023, October. We were digging once again. Again, the tradition of the church is that it was built over the house of St. Peter. The most sacred place in a basilica is the apse. This is this rounded structure that faces to the east. And that is the most sacred area. And if this church is built over the house of St. Peter, we should be able to find his home here. And we excavated below. There are a series of walls. This wall is actually 2nd, 3rd century AD. And you can see that they're boxing it off. They're protecting it. They're actually plastering the walls here. This is a sacred area.
Interesting.
And there at the base, you can see the dark stones running east-west. Those are the stones of a 1st century home. So,
amazing.
I tell folks that, people say, well, how can you know that that's Peter's house? I said, you're not going to find a plaque that says Peter slept here, but in archaeological terms, it doesn't get much better than that.
Incredible.
So the church is, it's very important for a Christian presence in the land and connecting it, connecting this land to the Gospels. Very, very important.
Incredible things are coming out of the ground right here. The team has been in the trenches day after day, and we got to talk to them this morning. You have to meet them. What was a discovery that you made on this dig, or one of your colleagues, that was the most exciting for you?
We got 2 whole perfume vessels, the small juglets. They're probably usually were used for perfume. So, but like small juglets, they were full. They just kind of came right out of the ground, didn't break them, which I'm kind of known for breaking them. So that was kind of cool.
Amazing.
From here, I think significantly we found stone vessels, Jewish chalk stone vessels. We found a very nice piece on the very first day, and so we were motivated. Yeah, strong boost. So nice. It was from a huge stone jar that points to Jewish ritual purity usage, and we were thinking of John, like John 2, when Jesus turned water into wine, the stone jars, those type of jars. So we found a fragment down here.
Season after season, the ground here keeps giving up more of its story, and every piece is a part of the puzzle of the whole picture.
I am a firm believer that the land sheds light and helps us to understand more, to discover more about the scriptures.
Yeah.
It makes a difference to read the scriptures in the land.
100%.
And they things that we read back home, we can't always understand or visualize.
The geography, the
That's right.
terrain.
It becomes a 3D gospel.
Yes. But what was even more beautiful to me is seeing the community rallying around this cause. People from Hong Kong, the States, young and old, secular, religious, Christian, Jew, all here digging and connecting the dots to their own history.
In terms of just being here at the right place at where the apostles lived. That's just I think it brings us much closer to the Bible. Being involved in part of it, I think it's just such a blessing. That's why we come back every year, and just to touch, to feel tangible.
And how does this connect to your faith? You said you're a believer, and so what has that experience been like?
I mean, I look out at the same hills Jesus looked at every day. Like that is incredible. Like whether you're a believer or not, to see the same landscape that such monumental people walked on and lived on it's truly incredible to get to see. So whoever's a believer, if you're able to make the trip, I really recommend it, because it really, like, reading the scriptures again, like, just brings it to life. Seeing the things that those people saw in their writings and seeing it with my own eyes has just been, it's been amazing.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Kayla Sprague with All Israel News. Please subscribe to our channel and visit allisraelnews.com for continual coverage.